I knew this would happen. Joe Rogan said he wants to host this debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. 4 hours moderated, and that would be the greatest thing ever. It'd probably be the highest rated piece of content ever made at any point by anybody, and I want to see it. So tweet hashtag Joe must show and include Joe Biden must attend because Donald Trump has already agreed to do it. But anyway, I digress. I knew this was going to happen. The hit pieces, the smears. How do you avoid this? It's simple. You see, Donald Trump says, I'm down. I'm in for the Joe Rogan moderated debate. But Biden can't handle 4 hours sitting in a chair. You crazy? That dude's going to pass out. So how do you get him? So how do you create a circumstance or an excuse for Joe Biden so that he won't appear? Well, already we're starting to see it. Sonny Hostin slams misogynistic, racist, homophobic Joe Rogan after his offer to moderate debate. Oh, shut up. Joe is the most popular podcaster in the world, the biggest podcast in the world. His downloads are greater than CNN's digital footprint. Well, actually, I think it might be comparable. We'll say comparable. Joe Rogan's total views from all his clips and everything, it's in the hundreds and hundreds of millions. His podcast alone does 200 million. So right now, we want to talk about how to do the debates. And wouldn't it make sense to put the debate on the most watched platform and medium, which would be the Joe Rogan podcast? It would. But they're not going to do it. And they need an excuse for Biden. Well, here it is. Joe Rogan, I combined their names. Joe Rogan is a bigot. And thus, Biden's probably going to be like, well, we're going to do the thing, but, Rogan and the, transphobia or whatever. Over at Google, what do you see? There's a bunch of other whatever stories. But now, one of the stories popping out, Caitlyn Jenner reacts to Joe Rogan's transphobic comments. The hit pieces are going to go crazy because the only way you get Joe Biden out of this is for Biden to say, I'd love to do it, but Rogan is controversial and many people find his comments offensive. So with all due respect, I'm going to decline. When in reality, it would be more like, I'm too tired. I need a prompter. I can barely stand. I mean, how's Joe Biden going to handle the debates as they are? Here's what's going to happen. Biden's going to be asleep. He's going to wake up like an hour before the show to get dressed and ready before the actual debates with the regular journalists. He's going to go up on stage. Then they're going to do their debate like 2 hours or whatever. I think it's 2 hours. And then he's going to go back to the car, wave, and then go back to sleep. And then he's going to sleep until the next debate. And that's exactly what he's going to sleep literally the whole time. Joe Rogan said 4 hours. Yeah. No joking around. And Trump would do it. So I'll tell you what, I'll take Donald Trump and Joe Rogan one-on-one if that's all we can get. But I don't know, guys. We really got to make this happen. So what do we do? Hashtag Joe must show. But let's read exactly what's going on. Rogan on Sunday offered to host the debate. We know, quote, I think President Trump has debased the office of the presidency. I think as a country, we have lost a sense of decorum. And I don't think a host like that should be someone who is given the honor. And I think it is an honor to host a presidential debate. Hostin said Tuesday, I am a traditionalist, as you know. I think that journalists should be hosting these debates. Oh, shut up, journalists. When you talk about a Joe Rogan, who has notably made misogynistic, racist, homophobic comments, that is someone that I have no interest in being given that kind of stage. Joe Rogan made racist comments? What did he say? What did Joe Rogan say? What about you? What about everybody? Are we playing cancel culture right now? I'll tell you what. Joe Rogan actually is, in some capacity, a journalist. He is. Joe wouldn't say he was because there's and who wants to at this point, to be honest. But a journalist is someone who collects and disseminates information. Was Larry King a journalist? Some would say yes. He interviewed people. Journalism, right? Well, journalists do interviews, but journalists do other things. Now we're trying to nitpick to figure out what the word means. I'll tell you this. You can say that Joe Rogan's not a journalist, and it's probably fair because first and foremost, he's a comedian and fight commentator and podcast host, but he does do things that are journalistic. He interviews people and you get to, you see what they believe and what they're doing. Of course, now the smears will be coming in. They say Rogan, who recently signed an exclusive deal with Spotify, reportedly earned $30 million in revenue last year with 190 million downloads per month for the Joe Rogan Experience podcast on YouTube, where he currently has more than 9.5 million subscribers. Biden and Trump are scheduled to hold 3 debates in September and October, with moderators already announced. Fellow co-host Joy Behar said she wasn't aware of who Rogan was and offered an alternative venue for a 4th debate between Trump and Biden. The View. Maybe we can do it, Behar said. The first official presidential debate is set for September 29th in Cleveland, with Fox News Sunday anchor Chris Wallace moderating. Well, 190 million downloads per month. That's great. You know, I'm getting 100. Not to brag, but I will tell you this. Times are changing. I am sick and tired of the plastic media, the PR machine. And I think you are too. And it's probably why you watch content like mine. Because I'm just a dude sitting in his room complaining on the internet. And that means a lot. It really does. I know it may be a downplaying what I do. And Joe does something similar when he calls himself dumb. He's like, oh, don't look at me, I'm just some dumb guy. But Joe's actually really smart. And of course, I'm doing more than just complaining on the internet. I pull sources, I do a lot of fact checking, and yes, I make phone calls to get comments. I love it when they're like, does Tim Pool even do journalism? He didn't even do. I literally made a phone call today seeking comment from an organization. I do it not super often, but enough. So you can argue that I don't do traditional boots on the ground journalism, but I'm fact checking every single day, pulling up sources and then giving my thoughts and opinions. It is a very different world today. Back in the day, you had the suit-wearing stodgy man on TV saying, today in news, a dog did a backflip, and the crowd went wild. Born 11. And that was it. Today, news is more personable, more authentic, more hearing from someone you know and trust. So I'll give you my opinions. I try to be fair. I have my biases. Everybody does, but I fact check. I do. And people want this. These stodgy debates are going to be a waste of time. You know what's really amazing about the debates? You should beg for a debate with Joe Rogan moderating. You know why? Donald Trump, in this format, it's going to be, as I believe it was Rogan who said this, watching Mike Tyson box a 3-year-old. The kid's going to be going, walking around, and Trump's going to be like, boom, 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 boom. And the guys and the babies are boom, flying over up in the air 20 feet, just explodes. For some reason, I have no idea why. Trump's going to say one thing to Biden. Excuse me, your staff bailed out the rioters. Joe Biden's America. And what's the debate host going to do? Well, Trump, Now, maybe they're hoping, the reason they're going for this is because they want to stack the debate against Trump. The moderators are going to be like, Trump, you're lying. And whenever Biden talks, they're going to say, well, actually. No, I think Trump will mop the floor because regular people do not care for this broken plastic news anymore. So the moderator can say, actually, Trump, there were, this many deaths. Trump's going to be like, I don't care. I don't want to hear it. You know why? You're putting an authentic internet kind of personality, Trump, I don't mean authentic in the sense that he's always honest, because I don't think he is. I think authentic in his personality. He comes off as like someone who's actually being honest with you because he's just talking kind of like I am now. You take 2 plastic people going, today I will propose a new, no. And then you get Donald Trump going, no, listen to me. I'm going to tell you guys about exactly what do you think the regular people watching that TV are going to be thinking? They're going to be thinking, this guy seems like he's just telling me it like it is. And they like that. The other guy seems like he's made of plastic and has no idea what he's talking about. That's why you need this to happen on the Joe Rogan Experience. You need it to. And, well, CNN ran this article. A Joe Rogan debate between Trump and Biden is just what we need. Wow. You see? Maybe it can actually happen. This is from Alice Stewart, who writes, it was 60 years ago when tens of millions of Americans turned on the television or radio to see JFK face off with Vice President Nixon in the nation's first televised presidential debate. The assessment was that Kennedy won by looking tan and fit, while Nixon looked like death warmed over. It was at that moment that presidential debates became a full contact electronic spectator sport. With that in mind, it should come as no surprise that there's current chatter about foul-mouthed comedian and MMA commentator seeking to host a 4-hour presidential debate between Trump and Biden. That's right, Joe Rogan wants to do it. Voters would benefit from watching a debate before they cast a ballot. As unconventional as this particular one may sound, and unlikely as it is to happen, it actually raises an important campaign conversation for 3 reasons. Early voting, expanding the electorate, encouraging critical thinking. That last one, that's it. I don't want to hear the plastic talking points. Trump, you have 30 seconds to respond, says Chris Wallace. Trump says, listen, we're going to do the best. We got a great immigration plan. It's coming up in a couple of days. I'll announce it. Thank you very much. And time. And then Trump will be saying something. Trump will be talking, or even Biden. Biden will be like, look, fat. Come on, man. You know the thing? I got a big plan. And he's going to have 10 seconds left. And goes, and here's the plan we're going to enact. It's going to be, that's time. That's so dumb. It's so dumb and archaic. It's about time you sit down and someone like Joe, who's a regular dude, looks at both of them and goes, yo, why is pot still illegal? And then they're just like, and that's what I want to see. I want to see Donald Trump say, in Biden's America, in Biden's violence, and then Joe's going to be like, but you're president. Just like a regular question, but you're president. And then Trump can give his answer. And then Biden will say, don't look at me. I'm not the president. He's the one that's happening under his watch. And Joe's going to be like, oh, good point. What's your response? Joe's going to ask questions. Regular people will probably get real questions. It'll be real. It will be real. Let's make it happen. Hashtag Joe must show. And make sure when you tweet the hashtag, you include Joe Biden must attend the debate with Trump, hosted, moderated by Joe Rogan. I want to see it. Everybody wants to see it. We all want to see it. And we have to make it happen. All right. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up tomorrow at 10 a.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you all then.